Welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be sandcasting Leon Kennedy's Requiem axe out of an alloy called Tenzaloy, which is mostly aluminum. But that's not all. We're also going to be turning all of these 3D prints into the same alloy. So all we have left to do with these 3D prints is touch them up with a little bit of wax, get them sprued up, put these steel flasks over top of them, and then we can pour in our investment plaster. So Tenzaloy is mostly aluminum, 91.5%, or just the balance, 7.5% zinc, 0.75% copper, and 0.25% magnesium. Here is an ingot of it already cast, very light. Here are a few statues that I've already made with Tenzaloy. Alright, the kiln's looking like 500 degrees. So the inside of the molds are probably more realistically like 600 degrees. But I think that's pretty much ready to go. Okay, here we have all of our charge formulations ready to go for Tenzaloy. So basically just a bunch of aluminum, a little bit of zinc, and a tiny bit of copper. You can kind of see right here. But let's go ahead and get our first one loaded. Well, overall, I think I'm pretty happy with how the axe and all the statues turned out. I'm especially happy with the way that the Celtic god and the Indian chief turned out. I mean, the detail on these two pieces is just incredible. I didn't think I could ever get something as highly detailed and sharp looking as this, or the Indian chief, with an aluminum alloy. Again, this is mostly aluminum, something that's notorious for shrinkage and gas porosity and defects and stuff. So I'm completely blown away with the level of detail and the sharpness that I was able to achieve with that alloy. Now with the axe, I'm actually pretty happy with how this turned out as well. You can see it's very, very shiny, very reflective. This is not a working alloy that you would actually want to use for a tool. So if I were to hit something really hard with this, there's a pretty good chance that it would just shatter. Tenzaloy is actually pretty brittle, but it is very good for a lot of other applications and different reasons. Obviously it's not perfect. Some things that I did note is, well, first of all, the spray paint. I'm not sure why the spray paint was kind of just weird on the one side. On the other side, it's really smooth. You can see how reflective it is. And then on this side, it was almost textured. I'm not sure why. I think there was a defect with the spray paint that I used, but overall, I think it's pretty sharp, really nice. And then the only other thing is I did see some gas porosity on the aluminum itself here. If I can show you it really close, you can see some tiny pinholes here and there. I think it's more pronounced on the other side. I'm not sure why it's more pronounced on this side. Maybe because it was the top part of the mold and the gas just rose. I don't know. But this is significantly less than what you would see in an aluminum casting, just pure aluminum. You'll see a lot more of that effect in a pure aluminum casting. As you can see, just super reflective still, very nice. But thanks for watching, guys. Let me know down in the comments below what your favorite piece was for the video. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.